I am Scott Lewis, and I'm the president of Kingswell. We are a nonprofit here in Middletown, Ohio. What we do is train missionaries to go into their neighborhoods and to be change agents to our community. And basically our mission is to cultivate missional leaders and community in areas between Cincinnati and Dayton.
I am Jerry Lewis, and I am the Community Relations Director, and I am literally the boots on the ground gal that what we teach in the classroom, we then turn around and apply it in our communities, and so I'm the one that's usually engaging and showing our students and others how to do that.
It was about 2010, and we were undergoing a number of things where we were forming what this looks like for Kingswell. And I had a paradigm change in terms of how we go about ministry. I was really beginning to be dissatisfied with how the current church or the state of the current church was and how we are actually reaching our neighbors for Jesus. And it was basically birthed out of a church plant that I helped in Liberty Township, where a lot of the people who were going to the church were mainly those who were attending from other churches. It was basically transfer growth. Not that there's anything inherently wrong with that, it's just that we weren't reaching those people who were unchurched. A statistic that about 60% of the population just won't go to a church, and they just, for whatever reason. And then we have about 40% that do attend church, and what happens when churches do grow, it's usually transfer growth and no new conversion, or those who are in the community are actually attending church for the first time. So what does it look like to reach that 60%? And that's kind of been the question for Kingswell. How do we train men and women to reach the 60%, those who would not ordinarily go to church? Not that we want to establish a new type of church, it's just, it is to train people who may look at this in a different way, where they can create what we call missional communities in their in their cities and in their neighborhoods, where they can establish coffee shops, pubs, it may be business-oriented services that actually have
Video production companies.
Yes, or that too. That have an aim towards the discipleship or reaching their community for change in their communities. This is called the Castell Room. It's a bar here for downtown Middletown, located between Don's Pizza and West Central Wine. And so I think they're going to specialize in beer and also, I guess, manly drinks. Well, one of the things that we like to do is to find people who like to create or develop a business here for town and let them kind of brainstorm or dream about what that looks like. And we try to match that up with a space that we would have available to them, and then we kind of work with them to develop a plan for that space and work with the architect in collaboration with the business owner to create that space. So sometimes it can be anywhere from a couple months to 6 months to a year, depending on the size of the project and what they want to accomplish. But it's something I really enjoy doing, working with business owners, kind of thinking through what that space might look like, kind of let them dream, and get the opportunity to dream with them.
Mm-hmm. We do that through a number of different events that we have done through the years. Ladies' Night Out would be a good example, how we took a small idea and built off of it. And that the short version of what Ladies' Night Out is we started with 12 ladies in my living room. We get old evening gowns, dress up, do each other's hair and makeup, and it's grown to over 200 women yearly. And from the event, They have dinner, the men serve the dinner, everyone's dressed up, everyone's on equal playing field, so you don't know who was homeless the week before and you don't know who is one of the wealthiest in our town, all sitting at the same table. And from that, there have been missional communities birthed. So women are meeting on a weekly basis around our city with other women just to talk about what God's doing in their life that week. And so that's kind of cool. Another way we've done and reached community would be like Movies in the Park. We founded that event, 6 years ago, and that has grown to 200-300 people in the community coming to the park during the summer and watching a movie with their family. So there's different events that we do. We've done princess parties, any way we can reach our community for Christ, but not shoving Christ down them.
For the next 10 years, we'll continue the conferencing that we've already started doing, having larger conferences and working with our partners and pulling that off. Obviously those conferences revolve around the idea of what it looks like to be missional in our community, how we work out this kind of dichotomy or this kind of interrelationship between discipleship and business ventures.
The theme of the pandemic, as we're ending this year, just watching the church and the community redefine what that means. So I just want to take a minute and just encourage the church and say, good job, well done. There's no handbook other than the scripture and Bible, and the churches that I've watched take and apply loving their neighbors and loving their church members and beyond. I just want to say I'm proud of the church for not shying away from that and getting creative, going online for the first time, creating a new avenue to reach our community through media has been beautiful to watch, and just keep going. I mean, 60% of the population potentially won't ever step foot in the church, but with the church going online and on video and doing it that way, you never know, you could reach that 60% that way. And I hope that then inspires you through those stories to then reach outside the church walls even more when we get through this on the other side. How can this be a way to engage in the community missionally outside the walls of the church? And so I applaud the church and I am proud of them.